knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers walking after their own lusts, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation. And it says, for this they are willingly ignorant of that by the word of the Most High the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water, whereby the world that was then, being overflowed with water, perished. But the heavens and the earth, which are now, by the same word are kept in store, reserved unto fire, against the day of judgment and perdition against ungodly men. So, a lot of people, like as I said, our own people, Israelites, Jakes, they've lost patience and they've lost faith, and they don't ever expect the Lord Yahushua to return. Now, you know what? That's kind of beautiful, because in a way, that's proof that the day of the Lord is going to take them as a thief in the night. Because if you're expecting somebody to return, you're going to be shocked when they show up, or surprised, but you're not going to be confounded. Whereas the people who are not expecting the clouds to crack, the sky to crack and the chariots to show up, then it's going to be so unexpected for them that it's going to be, as we've said before, it's going to be a complete paradigm shift for these people. People are going to lose their minds, man. And the scriptures also say men's hearts shall fail them for fear. Now, where does fear come from? Fear usually comes from a position of uncertainty. Like when you know something, you're not usually scared. I've said this before. Like when a lot of children are scared of the dark, or they're scared of what's under the bed, because guess what? They don't know what's there. So therefore, that uncertainty plays on their mind, and then they start to feel scared. You got something?
Yeah, I got some in Genesis 4. You're going to see where I'm going. And 11 says, and now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond thou shalt be in the earth. So directly this applies to the Edomites. But you also got the Jakes that are under the vibration of E. You know, the elder apostle calls them black Edomites. Because really, they when Yahushua comes back, they're going to be on the run too, just like the Esau fugitives.
Yes.
On the run, you know, trying to survive, and you know, running here and there to survive and getting away from the enemy, which Yahushua is going to be their enemy just as well as he's going to be, and we're going to be enemies of Yahushua. We're going to be searching out all the wicked too on the earth too, seeking and destroying.
Yeah, that's true, because the scriptures say, those that would not have me rule over them, bring them before me and slay them. So when those people 2,000 years ago were saying, bring us Barabbas, they didn't want Yahushua to rule over them. So therefore they're going to have to be punished along with the wicked. And the scriptures say, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. So it's all very spiritual, because those Israelites who don't want Yahushua to rule over them, they're not covered by his blood. So therefore, they have to be a sacrifice.
Right.
Because we don't have to be, Lord willing, if we're of the elect, we don't have to be a sacrifice, because Yahushua already was that sacrifice on our part. But those who are not covered by the blood of Yahushua, those of Israel that are not of Israel, they're going to have to shed their own blood is going to have to be shed. And that goes back to 2 Ezra 9 verse 2 Ezra 9 and verse 9. 2 Ezra 9 and 9. Then shall they be in pitiful case which have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. For as such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me, and yet they that have loathed my law, while yet they had liberty, and when as yet a place of repentance was open unto them, understood it not but despised it, the same must know it after death by pain. So that's for you Israelites that didn't want to get down with this truth when you had the chance. The same must know it after death by pain. Now this is the thing, how can you read scriptures like that and not be shook? Anybody in their right mind would read that thing, you know what, man, I don't want to be on the wrong side of the Most High. I don't want to be on the wrong side of Yahushua. But guess what? You know what the trouble is? Going back to Revelation 1, these people don't read. Let me get it again. This is Revelation 1 and 3. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. Which ties me back to these Christians again, which don't read the Bible. How can you be out there trying to teach the people when you haven't even read the book yourself? I mean, why do you even have a Bible in your hand? Why is a Bible part of what you teach? It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. You know, you could be standing there with flipping I don't know, some book on I don't know, the Hungry Caterpillar or something. Why are you even holding the Bible if you're not going to go into it? Don't make no sense, man. That's because it's all set up so these people can draw people away from the truth, really. You know, the scriptures talk about silly women laden about with diverse lusts, kind of thing. I remember being on Oxford Street when the brothers were teaching there, and you get some woman come up, she'd be listening for a minute, and then someone else will come up and start talking to her, and just draw her straight away. Draw her straight, because these people are easily led away, man. This is the thing. The scriptures say, "My sheep hear my voice." If they're not of the elect, then they're not going to hear this word, and they're going to be drawn away. Bear me, let me find that precept.
If I'm looking for the same one, I'm going to be looking. Might be the same one. It might be a different one.
Yeah, I found it. But
Bring
what you've got. And see if it's the same, yeah. But I'll read it. Oh man, this is good. I'm going to read right into it. This is 2 Timothy 2 verse 3. At this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of the Most High, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. For of this sort are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women, laden with sins, led away with diverse lusts, ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. So is that one you're looking for?
No, I've got a different one.
Bring out your one.
Alright, Matthew 13 and 13 says, "Therefore I speak to them in parables, because they see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand." Right, that was Matthew 13. That was 13. Jump down to 16. Says, "But blessed are your ears, for they see, and your ears, for they hear." 18. "Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. When any one heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not, then the wicked cometh the wicked one, and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart. This is he which receiveth the seed by the wayside." 20. "But he that receiveth the seed unto stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and anon with joy received it. Yet hath he not root in himself, but dureth, is that like in jaw?
Yeah.
Dureth for a while, for when tribulation or persecution ariseth because of the word, by he is offended. He also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful."
Yep.
Last one. "But he that receives seed unto the good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit, and bringeth forth some and underfold, some 60, some 30.
That's on point.
Right.
Because it ties in. Because when certain people hear the word,
right,
it's like in one ear and out the other. You know, they and some people they endure for a minute, but when hardship come, they duck.
Yeah.
You know, they skip out of town. You know, they don't want to deal with the affliction no more. But Yeah. So I was saying about
Yeah.
what's this? So I lost my train of thought. Bear with me.
Can I just make a point that
Go ahead.
elders apostles always bring out there was a great influx of 2020 when they were talking about it's got the year of the millennium year.
You mean 2000? Yes, 2000.
Year 2000. It's like I'm getting it wrong. So year 2000 and people were talking about this is going to be the year of the millennium. And it was worldwide. It wasn't just only spiritually. They were talking about there's going to be a collapse of the technology and all sorts of things.
Bug.
And even in the church, they were talking about but many people left the truth. Many people left the truth because they were serving for a time that they're saying the kingdom was going to come around that time too.
Yeah.
That millennium, that time of the millennium. So they left. So they were serving They were serving for a time, as it gives all these different examples.
Yeah.
Some served for a time and then they left because it didn't meet their expectations.
Yep.
What's the word? They became enchanted.
Disenchanted.
Disenchanted, right.
Yeah, well that shows that they were doing the work deceitfully because the scriptures say, watch ye and pray, for you know not which hour your Lord doth come. So if you're sitting there thinking, okay, it's going to be year 2000, at midnight I'm going to party like it's 1999, like the Prince song, and at 2000 on the dot, the Yahushua is just going to turn up. Well, that shows that you don't understand the scriptures. Now, let me put it this way: the time, Esau has changed the times and seasons, right?
Yeah.
So technically, none of us really know what year it actually really is because the time's been fucked up. So the Lord might return on the year 2000, but we don't really know when the year 2000 is. I'm just putting it as a
I remember
hypothesis.
hearing that. I heard that before too. Yeah.
You know, that's just a hypothesis. But again, if you understand the scriptures, you'll know that no man knoweth the day nor the hour, none except the Father in heaven. It's just all in Yahweh's timing. Now, this is the beautiful thing. Changing the subject, but not changing it too much. I'm going to go back to what I was saying before. But this is 2 Ezra 9. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and upfalls of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. So if those guys who fell out around 2000 had been meditating on that precept, they might not have fallen out. But then at the same time, they fell out because they weren't of the elect, ultimately. Just like Judas. Judas was doing the ministry for 3 years, right, with Yahushua and the other disciples. Someone on the street might the day before, looked at Judas, thought, oh, he's one of the disciples. That's such a great man. But yet 24 hours later, Judas fell out the truth and betrayed our Lord. So, and that was at pretty much the very end of Yahushua's ministry. After 3 years, on that final day of the Passover, Yahushua was like, what thou hast to do quickly, and Judas was out of there. But yet, at 24 hours before, someone might have looked at him and thought, yeah, that's a real man of the Lord. So those guys that fell out around 2000, they were just there to do what they were to do, to basically, how do you say? They call them warm bodies. You know what I mean? They're not really doing anything, but they're just there taking up space.
Right.
Now they're they've been cast out of the body, and Yahushua has brought in a new generation of younger men that are more willing and able to do the work, so to speak. You know, but that's probably because they're of the elect.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, it says many are called but few are chosen.
Yeah.
Let me get that one. This is in John 15. This is the thing, man. You can't be in this truth and be a warm body, though. Because you're not really fooling anybody. In Revelation 3, Yahushua said, be either cold or hot. But since you're lukewarm, I will spew you out. So you're not fooling anybody. If you're just coming around and you think that, you know what, man, I'm just going to put in a half measure, I'll just turn up and coast along. You can't do that because you're not fooling anybody. Yahweh sees you and Yahushua sees you, which is why you have to be sincere. If you're not sincere, you'll endure for a time, and then you're going to be moved aside when a more profitable servant comes along. Just like the man who had the talent in a napkin. He was called that thou slothful an unprofitable servant. So it says, this is John chapter 15, verse 15. No, John 15:14. Ye are my friends, this is Yahushua speaking. Ye are my friends if ye do whatsoever I command you. Henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth, but I have called you friends. For all things that I have heard of my Father, I have made known unto you. Ye have not chosen me, here's the point, John 15:16. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you that ye should go forth and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, and whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give unto you. These things I command you, that ye love one another. Yep. If the world hate you, know that it hated me before it hated you. If you were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. Now, that's an important point, because if I speak about myself personally, I hated the world when I was in the world.
Right.
And the world hated me.
Yeah.
But I couldn't understand why the world hated me.
Yeah.
And the more I sort of grew in the knowledge of this truth, the more the world hated me. You know, so then I started to realize, hang on a minute. This was never for me, man. For example, God forbid if I was to ever fall out of the truth, I say I doubt it will happen, but you know, all I can say is Abba Ratazar, he keeps me in his truth.
Yeah.
But
Called and chosen.
just put it this way. If I was to think tomorrow, oh well, I don't want to do this anymore, I want to stop doing the work, I'm leaving GMS, I'd have nothing to go back to, because bridges were burnt. You know, I burnt a lot of bridges intentionally, because I thought, I don't want to go back to this world. And even if I was to say leave the truth tomorrow and try and link up with old guys who I knew, it wouldn't work, because I cursed a lot of them out, because I'd done it intentionally, because I wanted to burn those bridges. But, you know what I mean? It's like, there's nothing for me to go back to. There's nothing in the world. Which is why a sign that I'm not of the world.
Right.
Because if I were of the world would love his own.
Yeah.
And I'd find things in the world to take great pleasure in. But the way I see it, there's nothing in the world to go back to, because it's all just ways of death.
Yeah. Can I just make a little point? It's kind of
Go ahead.
similar, but it's kind of off topic, but it's kind of on topic, because I was watching football, right? And I ain't watched football. Football's not my thing, but I was watching the news, and then they spoke about England. Oh, England's going to be facing Denmark. So I ended up watching just with the volume down, right? And I was doing what I was doing.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to see them lose. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
I wanted to
so
see them
did
lose. But anyway, I was watching the faces, right, of a lot of the supporters, and they all no one looked happy, man. No one looked happy. Like, oh, they're all nervous. One holding onto the thing, and say, bloody hell, is that only? Yes, that's the only thing they got.
Exactly.
And if their team don't win, what are they going to do? Commit this? Like some of them, I wouldn't be surprised if they committed suicide. Some of these guys, man.
You know what's beautiful? That's a good point you made, actually, because I'm not into football, but one thing I love seeing is England lose, because I love seeing them lose, because all their pride gets you know, you see them looking all sad and shit. I love that. I hate football, but I love seeing England lose,
Right.
because they're too proud. And yesterday, on Saturday they had a match and they won 4. They won against Ukraine.
Most are building up their pride even more, man.
4-0 or something.
Right.
Like that.
All right.
And when I saw the newspaper, they were basically likening those England team players as to gods, you know. And they start talking this shit about it's coming home, football's coming home, it's kind of fucking shit. And I'm like, man, England are full of shit, right? But yesterday, when the match was on, I don't watch football, but I was in the chip shop yesterday, and I had a TV in there, and I saw them. They conceded a goal, and I loved it, because like you said, all these people are like, they got their flags and they're like, oh,
some of them paint their faces and all,
and that's all folly, man. That is all folly. You know what? The thing I hate about football, and people that right, there's nothing wrong with being into sport. You can play a game and you can enjoy it, but these people, they take it too far.
Yeah.
Like when England win, these Edomites start climbing up on fountains and all this kind of shit, acting like hooligans. If it was Jake doing that, they say, what's wrong with these people? They're like monkeys and all this kind of rubbish.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
that's
yeah.
how them Edomites behave.
Yeah,
And when they lose, they're all like defeated and stuff. But the thing is, it's folly setting great dignity.
yeah,
Because if you're basing all of your... This shows that these people are emotionally unstable.
yes, they
How
are.
can you
yeah.
base your mood on the actions of someone else? It's like you're not on the team, right? You're not playing, but yet you're getting all emotional and upset because they lost when you're not even on the fucking pitch. What's wrong with you, man? Grow the fuck up. And you know what it is as well? When I was at school, and a lot of guys, like you said, what team do you support? I was never into that shit because I hated football. But what it is these guys, they're not deep. They're so simple, they're so childlike that all they can understand is this person kicked a ball and this ball went in the back of a net. That's their whole fucking
Yeah.
that's as deep as they get, man. They can't go into any they're not going to be going into the scriptures. They're not going to be doing deep breakdowns. They're not going to be analysing, okay, so who really does run this world? Hang on a minute, why have I got paper in my pocket instead of gold coins? They're not really deep. They're not thinking. All they care about is fucking, oh, we won 2-0. Oh, great. It's just such a fucking low vibration.
Yeah,
And
it's
again,
very low, bro. Yeah.
again, this goes back to the fall of Rome. What did they do to distract the people back in Rome? To distract the people from what was really going on politically, they gave them what?
Bread and circus.
So there's nothing new under the sun, man. And again, we've just come out of a flipping pandemic, lockdown
yeah,
and all this kind of
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
And Esau's there trying to flipping trying to stab and jab you
Yeah.
and your children and your family and all this kind of stuff. Salakia, bear with me a second, I just got a notification. Salakia. But check it.
I wonder if he's held up, man. We won't be surprised with all the Satan's this vibration that's going around. He's held up again.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Satan is putting their energies out there. These witches and warlocks putting out their energies, man. Yeah,
Alright.
yeah.
Salakia, just to check it out.
But yeah, fortunately, I did see a chariot. You know, I went outside. I needed a little, I needed a little breather. I needed a breath, taking some breath of the spiritual right hand side, and I just saw a little chariot, and I said, all
Lifted
praise,
your
you know,
spirit.
lifted my spirit, man. You know.
Yeah. So as I was saying, these people are fucking. They're as deep as a flipping puddle, man.
Mm.
They're just shallow, and they've got nothing going on, and they're getting all emotional over fucking football, man. How do we even get onto this subject? We were talking about the fall of Rome, yeah.
Yeah.
And people just being low. This is like
Yeah.
fully setting great dignity. And as I said, there's nothing wrong with enjoying a sport. You know, some people like to do
Brothers are into
recreation.
what they're into. That's their brothers have
Yeah.
their outlets. We're not knocking having
Yeah.
an outlet.
But keep it in its place, man.
Yeah.
It's just a recreational pastime. It's
Yeah.
not something for you to be getting all emotionally invested in to the point where you're looking like you're ready to slit your wrist because your favourite team lost.
Mm.
Anyway, so, yeah, I was talking about guys who fell out around 2000 and the Lord chose us, we didn't choose him.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, as I say a few times, with this knowledge comes a level of responsibility. Like, the Lord says, since you have been faithful over much, I will give you, let me get that, bear with me slightly.
Mm.
Since you have been faithful over a little, I'll make you ruler over much. Just to roughly paraphrase it rather than get it. So basically, with the knowledge that comes with knowing this truth, we have a responsibility to therefore go out and teach this word. You know, to wake up other members of the elect, because one of the reasons why people say, where's the promise of his coming, you know, ever since the fathers fell asleep, things continue as they were, is because they don't see the prophecies coming to pass. But yet, if you're spiritually minded and you're keeping your eye on the ball, no pun intended, you will see that the prophecies are indeed being fulfilled. Now, why has the destruction not come yet? Because the elect have to be sealed first. So how did the elect get sealed? By hearing this word. So therefore, by prophesying this word, every flipping video you do, every time you come out on the highways and byways, it's having an effect. You've got to have faith and believe that, because some people, they lose the faith and think, well, I've been doing this for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, whatever, and I ain't seen no changes, man. Nothing's changing, man. You might as well go back to the world, man. You know, that's not the spirit to be in. Because this is having an effect. The scriptures say, if thou hast the faith of a mustard seed, you will move mountains. Now we know that in the scriptures, the word mountain is a parable for government. And the word government, as we know, means mind control. We are literally moving these governments through these words, through prophesying. And if you don't believe it, just look at what's happening in the world. They tried to pull off this sham scam hoax thing. They locked down the cities for the best part of a year.
Fucking
Now
hell.
you've got people queuing up left, right and centre to take the stabbing jab. Is that not prophecy coming into fulfillment? Why are they pushing the jab and stab so hard? Well, because it's a trial run for the mark of the beast.
Right.
They're seeing, okay, Esau's very technical. And he doesn't just do things on a whim. He's seeing how people react, because that's how he does things. He puts something out there, sees how the people react. Put something out there, sees how the people react. So he's put like this thing, like I said, Joe Biden talking shit about how he's going to be going door to door to get people who are hesitant towards taking a stabbing jab. They're going to be going door to door knocking on your fucking house, and then they said they're going to do follow-up texts and phone calls to see if the people are taking it. So basically, let me put it this way: they're going to be going door to door, knocking on your door. They're going to try and talk shit to you, and then they're going to leave their leaflets, and they're going to be asking, oh well, can you give us your phone number so we can check in on you? So then, let's say you don't take it, you're minding your own business, sitting at home, you get text messages saying, have you taken it yet? Have you taken it yet? If that's not pestering people, I don't know what is, man. And furthermore, why all of a sudden is the government, the mind control, so interested in your health? Hang on a minute. You're telling me you could whip a vaccine out. I've used the word, I shouldn't use that word. You can whip a vaccine out of your backside in less than 10 months, right? But yet you still got people dying of cancer. Yeah, you're still funding cancer research. All these years, cancer research, donate to cancer research. Oh, and you still ain't found a cure for that? Oh yeah, but you can find a cure for this in less than 10 months. Full of shit, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? This is going to sound harsh, but I've seen people I know posted on Facebook of themselves getting stabbed and jabbed. And I'm sitting there laughing because I'm thinking to myself, yeah, let's see where your ass is in the next 10 months. If you're going to be still above ground in 10 months' time. In 10 months' time, you might be under the earth, man. Even less than that. Because Esau, man, he ain't fucking about. Do you think he made the Georgia Guidestones just for a whim? Oh, let's have a laugh. We're gonna take these massive monolithic type stones, and we're gonna carve into them that we wanna maintain humanity. Is it under 500 million?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you know there's billions of people on the earth. How are they gonna get down to that number? Bill Gates was already exposed in a TED talk talking about how we can bring that number down through what? Vaccinations, stabs and jabs. Now, all of a sudden, those people who are like, oh, it's just a conspiracy theory, they're lining up and they're taking a stab and jab, and guess what? A lot of them are dropping dead.
Let me just, I saw some woman the other day, and I'll tell you, I really want to start talking, but I'm waiting on the Most High, because, it says, wait ye upon me, Zephaniah 3:8. So, I'm actually a quite extrovert person, but I don't want to be out of line, so I got to keep my mouth, bite my lip. The woman she had a mask on her face, she took her mask, moved it to the side and lighted up a cigarette. I would have cussed her ass out, man.
What, on the bus or what?
Walking past me, it looks stupid, man. What's wrong with these? It's very frustrating dealing with these people, man.
Was it, what was it, an Israelite woman?
It was an Edomite woman, but they're all doing it.
Well,
like you said, that person that took the thing, maybe she smokes, I don't know, but I mean, you got cancer, she does, yeah?
What, the person who I saw
person that you said,
yeah, she smokes.
See, so, all right, I'm getting, but I'm gonna, me and my cancer stick.
I'm gonna commit suicide.
Yeah.
Suicide with a cancer stick, but I'm gonna get the vax.
Oh, it's frustrating, man.
People are a walking contradiction.
That's why the Most High, that's why he wants the depopulation. I'm for the depopulation.
Yeah, and so we should be, because the earth needs to be cleansed. And what did the scripture say? The earth cannot be cleansed from the blood that is shed therein, except by the blood of him that shed it. So a lot of these people walking up and down, they might look innocent, right? Like you got people walking up and down this park. You might look at them and think, well, they're not the elite banking families. They've not done anything wrong. Well, guess what? that person might have had an abortion. And what's that? It's murder. That's a death sentence right there. Or this person might have committed adultery. What's that? That's a death sentence right there. See what I'm saying? These people walking up, and there's nobody on this earth that's innocent. Not even me and the brother standing here. We're not innocent. Job, what did Job 4 and 8 say? Or was it Job 2 and 8? Let me get it.
Yeah, 4 and 7.
Job 4 and 7. And it's about having a level of responsibility, man. And that's what makes you a man, because we were talking earlier about when you come to this truth, you're supposed to gird up thy loins to show thyself a man. Well, part of being a man is being responsible for your actions.
Yeah.
And if you notice, that's something that not a lot of women want to do, to take responsibility for the things that they do wrong. Women try to darken what I don't want to get into women too much because it's changing the subject, but a lot of women try to hide their wickedness by painting their faces. Which is why what happened to Jezebel? You know, when she was but I'm gonna get it, bear with me. Right. Job 4. No, Job 2.
No, it might be. Is it 7 and 4, or it's not 2? It's definitely not 2.
No, Job 4 and 7. Job 4 and 7.
Yeah.
It says, remember, I pray thee, whoever perish being innocent, or where will the righteous cut off? See, so none of us are innocent. But the difference between us and them is repentance. See, we've acknowledged the fact that we was wrong and that we're still wrong, and we've acknowledged the fact that we transgressed against our power, Yahweh Bashim Shai, and we have come to the knowledge and understanding that we do need salvation. There's no other way out of this situation other than through Yahweh Shai. It's the one way out of this mess. I mentioned another scripture there. What did I just say? Do you remember? There was another precept I was going to get. About Jezebel.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Let me get into that.
Yeah, you said the women there hide their wickedness by painting their faces.
Yeah. Yeah, right. So this is Jezebel done a little wickedness, right? And when her judgment was about to come on her, check what she did. So this is 2 Kings 9 and verse 28. And his servants carried him in a chariot to Jerusalem, and they buried him in his sepulchre with his fathers in the city of David. And in the 11th year, Joram, the son of Ahab, began Azariah to reign over Judah. And when Jehu was come to Jezreel, Jezebel heard of it, and she painted her face and tied her head and looked out the window. So what did Jezebel do? She painted her face and tied her head. She made herself look good. Now this is the same woman that was persecuting the prophets, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Is that the elder over there?
Persecuted Elijah. No, that's not. Yeah, that is him. That is him. He's got his head up. He's got his hands up for some reason.
Yeah. So basically, she was persecuting the prophets like, is it Elijah? Yeah, she was persecuting Elijah, threatening to kill the prophets. Well, guess what? It says, let me read it again. 2 Kings 9 and 30. And when Jehu was come to Jezreel, Jezebel heard of it, and she painted her face and tied her head and looked out of the window. And as Jehu entered in at the gate, she said, had Zimri peace? Who slew his master? And he lifted up